I chose Rosalina in the Observatory 2 from Mario Galaxy, and I'm very excited to dive in. This piece is a great piece. I chose this piece because the game is special to me. As a kid, it was the first game that I played to completion 100%, and anyone that is a gamer knows that that's just a very special thing. So without further ado, let's dive into it. And then it pretty much repeats with some other things that we will talk about later. But so I chose this piece because, in my opinion, I think this particular piece encapsulates the whole vibe of the game. The waltz structure and soaring strings take you on what feels like a real adventure that is out of this world. Quite literally. The song, in my opinion, it kind of also means adventure. The piece is lively and bouncy, but it also feels very free and happy. And in my opinion, that encourages the gamer to explore, which is what this game is about. Also saving Peach, obviously. I also think there are many modal moments that give this piece a very dreamy feeling. The piece evokes a celestial and mystical atmosphere achieved by using modal scales, like the Lydian or Mixolydian modes. These modes create a floating sensation that fits the space-themed setting. Moving on. Tubbs analysis. Let's get into it. So, the melody note follows a smooth stepwise motion with occasional leaps. And the rhythm uses a standard quarter note division to show melodic timing, harmony. The chords include extended harmonies, major sevenths, minor sevenths, that give the piece a very dreamy quality. Roman numerals. The progression actually follows a jazz influence of 1-5-6-4-5-1 structure, contributing to the floaty and scenic atmosphere. So, let's talk about some of the elements of this. Oh, it did not move. Here we go. Let's talk about the elements of this piece. But before I get into that, Dr. Sean actually had told me that I should also focus on kind of like what other Mario games does this piece relate to? And let me tell you something. I don't think that it does, but I also kind of think it does at the same time. So let me tell you why. So when you jump into the hub of Mario Galaxy, right? You hear this piece, and it's these flowy strings, and it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it sets the scene. Well, a lot of Mario games, especially 3D Mario games, have that kind of Rosalina in the Observatory-like piece. Except it doesn't have the classical waltz feel to it. So for instance, let's say you played Super Mario Sunshine. I love that game. So when you enter the island of Delfino, you are instantly greeted with island rhythms and instrumentations that make you think island. When you play Mario Odyssey, and you are on the Odyssey, you hear the big strings and like that big like adventurous sound. Those two pieces that I said, like the one in Super Mario Sunshine and Odyssey, those pieces encapsulate what the game's feel is. Let's jump to Mario 3D World, which was tragically released on the Wii U. I still played it on the Wii U because I'm not a hater and I liked the Wii U. But then also re-released on the Nintendo Switch. You have Super Bell Hill, which is this big like saxophone jazz piece that encapsulates that game. That is the vibe of that game. Now for this game, let's get back into Mario Galaxy. For this piece, so this piece features a delicate piano melody, often like accompanied by lush string pads and subtle ambient textures. These elements create a dreamy, weightless quality, evoking a feeling of floating in space. There is also spacious reverberation. The spacious reverberation of the timbre adds depth, making the music feel like it's unfolding in a vast celestial void. So like this piece holds a lot of space. The use of wide intervals and arpeggios creates a sense of physical and emotional distance, much like the distance between the stars. That was deep. The melody also moves upward, typically. So like GEC, EG is the main theme, symbolizing aspiration and discovery. This gives the music an uplifting and adventurous feel, as if reaching for something beyond. Perhaps the stars. We are in space after all. The singable and stepwise melody is easy to connect with emotionally, making it feel like a personal journey or a story unfolding. Because it is. The rhythm is steady, but it's not rigid. Allowing for like a natural flow. This creates the sense of a journey through space, where there's no rush, but constant movement. That part I thought was actually quite important. Is that the piece is still constantly flowing, but you're not like rushed through it. Okay, next one. Topics, museums, I'm not good at pronouncing that, forgive me, found in this piece. I'm going to get into them. I didn't want to overcrowd my my slides, so I put a lot of it in the speaker notes. So, for Lullaby and Nostalgia, the melody has a gentle rocking motion, similar to a lullaby, reinforcing Rosalina's maternal and celestial presence as she mothers all of the Lumas. For those of you that have played the game or haven't, Lumas are cute stars that are all over the galaxy that Rosalina has raised herself. Space and wonder. The harmonic choices evoke a sense of floating in space with extended harmonies and ethereal textures. The use of reverb and legato phrasing creates a feeling of vastness and mystery. There's also a classical and waltz influence. The 3/4 time signature gives the piece a waltz-like motion, reminiscent of classical European music, adding elegance and grace. How lovely. Museums, rising and falling stepwise motion. The main melody ascends and descends smoothly, mirroring a sense of weightlessness and drifting in space. Arpeggiated accompaniment. The harp and piano often use broken chords, reinforcing the lullaby effect while also hinting at twinkling stars. Chromaticism and suspension. Small chromatic movements add emotional depth and mystery, enhancing the sense of wonder and longing in Rosalina's story. Finally, let's take another listen. Oops. The second half introduces more movement in the harmonies while maintaining a floaty, dreamy quality. Based on a harmonic analysis of similar Nintendo compositions, the chord progressions include 1, 5, 6, 4, and a common progression. This is a common progression that provides warmth. 2, 5, 1, a classic, a cadential motion reinforcing the tonic. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and if you haven't played this game, I highly recommend it. It is a great time and one of my personal favorites. Also, I apologize for the audio. I have a microphone, but my sister works in film and took it without my permission. I'm not bitter, just saying. Thank you.